Welcome to KneeToKnee, where real connections create change. The health of our connections often begins with ourselves. When we are calm and present, we show up better for others. In today's episode, we're going to explore what is called somatic therapy and how breathwork techniques help calm fears and anxiety, which can reset our nervous system and unlock authentic bonds. So let's get right into it. Welcome, everyone, to KneeToKnee. We're excited to have everyone here today with us again. Today, we actually have our guest is Jamie Hinckley. Jamie is a somatic therapy coach and mental health advocate from here in Utah. Jamie helps people heal trauma and reconnect with their bodies through breath work, movement, and mindfulness. Her work supports the kind of authentic human connections that we obviously love to explore at KneeToKnee. Welcome, Jamie.
Oh, thanks for having me, Mark.
Yeah, we're excited to have you on. You were referred to us. Do you remember who referred you over to us?
Kirk, our friend Kirk.
Kirk Weisler. Yes, Kirk is an awesome, awesome guy. And so I'm so glad that he actually referred us to you, because if Kirk says, hey, Mark, talk to so-and-so, then we definitely want to talk to that person.
I love Kirk. That's awesome.
So and I mentioned to you as we were visiting ahead of time, I'm just an old firefighter, right? I'm Western medicine, Western thinking kind of guy. But tell us a little bit about, for those of our listeners, what is somatic therapy?
Yeah, so it is a way to connect with your body through the breath. So really we get these monkey minds that go crazy and tell us all sorts of stories that create fear, and it makes us panic. So a lot of times it shows up in sabotaging us in our lives because we think we're not good enough. Sometimes we're conditioned when we're children, small children, to believe that our voice doesn't matter, or we don't matter. So really the breath brings you back to the body, really reminds you that you're safe. In those times, maybe you weren't safe, but it regulates that nervous system. Maybe you've been through trauma or just didn't get needs met as a child, and it created these parts within us that just carry on through adulthood.
How did you get involved? Tell us a little bit of the story. I love stories. So if you could tell us a little bit of the story about what got you to doing somatic therapy.
Yes. So in September of 2021, my domestic partner lost his life to suicide. And at that moment, I actually fled for my own. I witnessed the darkness and the light at the same time, and was able to see kind of in the state that he was in. And I really deep dived into men's mental health. Like, how do men get here? On the outside, it was like rainbows and butterflies in this perfect
Yeah.
life, and really put on a mask to say that he was strong, and show people he was strong and not be a burden. And yeah, it created these emotions in him that he just throughout his life had suppressed, and then it just comes out. And so I wanted to deep dive into why that happened. And then I went to my first breathwork session when I was trying to heal from all of that, and it was just so powerful. The things I saw, the connections I made with the other side, whoever your creator is, whoever you believe in, whatever you believe in, and really found that there's someone, something that created us all, and that's so much bigger than us, and really allowed me to connect with minus God. So yeah.
So when you went through, you went through your first breath work, what did you find? I'm just curious because of my background. What have you found, and what are they seeing research-wise that helps support how breath work really can make a difference for us?
Yeah. Well, have you heard of the sigh of relief where I
I think we
just
all have that. Yeah.
right, right. And we use it kind of like a joke, like take a sigh of relief. But if you really are intentional with breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, and your body settles, your nervous system settles, your brain settles, and it reminds you that you're safe. Like you're not thinking that you're not in the same situation where you weren't safe, and you're just fully present with your body. So the nervous system is up and down your body. So when you get anxiety, it will create these stories in your head that are like, I'm not safe, I'm not safe, I'm running from a bear, or whatever your
The fight or flight kind of thing.
fight or flight. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so you can freeze or you can fawn or and just not show up your full authentic self because of those different emotions that come up. And then we're taught to push them down, which then creates more more issues within us all. We can have anger, we can have sadness, which hurts other people, hurts our families, hurts our spouses, and it just shows up in different ways for people. For firefighters, I know you're a firefighter, they've seen so much trauma. It almost, in my experience after working with first responders, it almost it numbs them down, like those life experiences, it kind of numbs them down so they don't have any emotions. And in my opinion, emotions are our compass in life. When you're feeling scared, there's probably something scary that may be around you. So what I found with first responders is they have that trauma response. And so they just kind of sail through life, just so they don't feel joy, they don't feel super sad. They almost have to do it, right? Because
Yeah, it's a
we wouldn't
survival
have them.
mechanism. Yeah.
Yep, we wouldn't have them. Yep.
Yeah. When you've done as a somatic therapist, when you've done that, can you share with us a story of, obviously not in details, but somebody that you were working with that was having a struggle, and then over time, what did it look like time frame wise? Because, I mean, quick fix one thing, or how long did it take someone to really make some deep changes for them? Because those that are struggling with depression and down that dark path that's there, what can they expect to see? So if you could share a story or something along those lines, and then what could the average person expect to see by using somatic therapy?
Yeah. Well, I've been doing one class. Everyone can expect it one time a month, and you pretty much get consistent people coming. So I would say for those, as an example, they're able to let go of the things that aren't serving them anymore. There's things in their life that they've gone through, and then they realize pretty quickly, and your body's only going to release what it's ready to release. So when you're dropping back into the body through the breath, things will just start coming up. Um, so, so for everyone, it's a little bit different depending on the size of the trauma. I would say, I mean, you're going to feel good after one session.
Okay.
Put a guarantee on that. If you
Nice.
struggle,
You gotta love
I
guarantees.
do. do. If they're really listening to the facilitator and they're breathing and following everything, the breath is powerful. It's so magical. It brings you back and just slows everything down. A lot of people can't sleep. So right in that moment, they're like, "Oh, I slept so much better tonight."
Yeah.
Sometimes it brings up a lot of stuff that's uncomfortable. And that's where the somatic coaching comes in and really integrates what comes up in breath. The somatic part of it, the somatic coaching, is where we take what comes up in breath and we figure out where you're feeling it in your body, what emotions that brings up. So I would say immediately you're going to feel good. It's not going to be bad, but really processing through trauma, I would at least give it a good 3 to 6 months.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because yeah, if you're pulling up old things or whatever, it's not like it's gonna immediately go away, in my mind, right? I think you'd still have to process that or whatever.
Yeah. And I've had soldiers come in where they've had just so much trauma. And they're doing it once a month, but they still have stuff. But the breath is something that you can always go back to. So when those emotions come up, you find your breath and just, it's easier to get through. It creates capacity in your nervous system to maybe release a little bit of what you've been carrying so that then you can tackle what is in that moment.
Okay. So what would be, for the new guy me, what would be the steps that someone would go through to begin this if they wanted to start breathing properly to help with just relaxing, just kind of reshifting and reconnecting?
Yeah. So nose breathing is a very calming breath. A lot of times we breathe through our mouth. That's just what us humans do. So breathing in through the nose, like if you're getting a panic attack or something feels makes you nervous, just breathing in through your nose, filling up your chest, and then breathing out your mouth, dropping your shoulders, dropping your body, and just kind of settling in, just grounding you into the ground, into the moment. Typically about 5 minutes of just
Why does nose breathing? Does it force us slowing down? Because, I mean, we can suck a lot more air in through our mouth, right?
Right, right. Yeah. Yeah, so nose breathing does it just slows everything down, slows the mind down, slows the nerves down,
Okay.
and it really brings you into your body when you can do that. So and that sigh, oftentimes we walk around the world like ready to fight the bear. So we're just waiting for the next big thing to happen. So our jaws are tight, our face is tight, our fists, and that audible sometimes people like to just make a sound when they release, and it's just it's just softening the shoulders. And then you begin noticing like your nervous system begins to calm down as you just relax. I love breath holds. Breath holds are good for that breath pattern too, where you just and hold at the top. And what that does is it squeezes your pineal gland in your brain. And when you release
Okay.
that, it naturally releases DMT throughout the body. So just that you may see colors, you may see just it's a peaceful moment. I love breath holds.
How long does someone do a breath hold?
Really, it's as long as you can. Everyone's totally
Really?
some people, yeah, some people can go forever and it will build over time. The more you're doing it, it's like a muscle. The more you're doing breath work, the better you're going to be. So people that come into breath events that I host are like, I don't have an hour to come to breath but I need it
Right.
like right in that moment. So the more you do it, the quicker you're going to drop in, the quicker the results will start happening. And it's magic.
Yeah, because that's the first thing that went through my mind. If you said an hour and I went, "Oh, no. No, I have so many things on my plate."
I know, it's true. Yeah, I'll do it with my kids. I've actually stopped reading books at night and we regulate our nervous system. We breathe. We just breathe.
How is that working with the kids?
So good. So good. I've actually stepped into like young
Here we go, one
athletes
down.
because athletes,
Spot.
they've
Nice
practiced
catch, kid.
their
Back to
whole
him.
lives for this big state championship game or college game. And then their nerves kick in and they forget everything that they've practiced all their life. Like, how do you play baseball again? Because
Yeah,
they're
well,
so
what is
nervous.
this in my hand? Oh, it's a
Yeah.
bat.
Yeah, yeah. So my little guy's a baseball player and he's a pitcher, so he gets a lot of pressure on him. And when I see him out there on the mound now, I can just see him. And really, it's just coming back to that moment.
Nice. Yeah, when I years ago, I was, did strength and conditioning coaching and had a great opportunity to work with a lot of young emerging athletes. And so sometimes those are very motivated to get to, in their minds, what that next level is. So it sounds like breathing has helped your son.
Oh my gosh. And then I follow up with visualization. So I've guided a couple of the local football teams, baseball teams, and when you can get them back into their bodies and really thinking about the game, somatically we can go into the body and viscerally they're going to feel a guided visualization. So you can walk them through like what it looks like to hold a bat. What are you doing? Where are your feet? What's the pitch? What's the next pitch? Really, it's practicing in their minds at that
I was
point.
going to say, yeah, you're using breath work with sports visualization in that sense of what we were all taught. If you're doing any kind of sports, you're visualizing what you're doing, and if you're using breath work, it sounds like that ties really well with that.
Yeah, and our kids are so activated these days with their devices that it's really hard for them to even focus these days on their sport. Really using the breath, taking the visualization helps them so much.
Getting them away from those things, or not just. I don't want to say them, right? Because we all do. Because I mean, I have mine sitting right here, right? And we all are easily distracted
Hmm.
by those things.
Yep, totally. Yep.
So let me ask this real quick. What is the best way if someone wanted to get, is there a somatic therapy association, or, someone that doesn't live here? Because we have some of our listeners that aren't just local, right? Some of them are around the country, and we actually have some in other countries. But what are how would they find someone to be able to get involved and to be able to help them with their breath work?
Yeah, there's tons of things online, YouTube videos. A lot of breathwork people, facilitators do online. So I'll meet with people online, but I really like the in-person part of somatic. The somatic process is moving your body, because you'll find that people get stuck,
Hmm.
and they don't know where the breath is stuck. Like if people get anxiety, they'll oftentimes feel it in their chest. And when they're breathing, they'll like hold their chest. So when I do hands-on assist, I can push kind of through that breath or move them. So finding someone online that's really going to move your body too. There's so many great facilitators out there now, and it's becoming like mainstream. Mainstream.
Right. And we're hearing more and more about it, as time has gone on. So is there, I can go and look up, I want to find a doctor in this town, right? And I can go look up and do a little research, and, here's a list of a bunch of doctors. Is there anywhere where someone can go beyond just Mama Google and find out, like an association of somatic therapists, or
There's
is it just Mama Google?
uh Google is helpful. My certification was done through Pause Breathwork, which is phenomenal. Uh, and it was an online course just out of California. And she has a list of people that you could go to that are all over the
Okay.
country. She also has an app, Sam, that's phenomenal. It has a section that teaches you the breath, and then it has guided breathing exercises that are 5 minutes up to a full journey of 25
Wow.
minutes. So, so that's a great way. And it's Pause Breathwork. I think it's just Pause Breathwork is the app, and you can find it on Apple.
In the app stores or wherever. Yeah. Yeah. And we'll make certain to put that link in the description down below, so that way, if someone wants to go check out the app, things like that. How best does somebody get a hold of you if they want to do online or even local?
Thank you. And the Somatic Reset on Instagram is usually my best bet.
Okay. Okay. Well, awesome. So, as it mentioned before, as we began our conversation, just before we started the episode, one thing that we love to do, and we always want to do, is we want to end our episodes with asking, what is one thing that someone can do today to make a difference in whether they're connecting with themselves, their bodies, those around them, based off of our conversation today? So what is the one thing someone can do today?
For me, it's always staying present. Be present, because if you're thinking of the past, it's going to create fear. If you're thinking of the future, it's going to create anxiety. So I would say breath work. Breath work brings you into that present moment.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Jamie. I so appreciate you coming on. I know that we're hitting right about that time period. Is there anything that you want to add as we wrap up?
I first want to thank you for your service. I've held space for so many firefighters, and you just are beautiful souls. It takes a special human to be a firefighter, and near and dear to my heart. So thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. There's a lot of amazing people in all first responders. There's no doubt about that.
Yes,
Yeah. So,
absolutely.
well, thank you for joining us on KneeToKnee, and congratulations, you've made it to the end of another episode. Until next time, please keep showing up, keep reaching out, and keep building those real connections. And we'll see you next time. Thanks.
Thank you, Mark.
Okay, so